In 336 BCE, Philip II of Macedon was on a military expedition against the Persian Empire when suddenly he fell by assassination. His son, hardly 20 years old, succeeded to the throne with a kingdom, its territories, and a formidable military force. People doubted the abilities of this young ruler, but soon he proved that indeed he had great leadership qualities. He came to be known as Alexander, a great military leader whose victories and successes over enormous challenges have now become matters of legend. He died very young, at the age of 32, but history never let go of his legacy, Alexander the Great. This is the paradox of great men. Two things are often true at once. Yes, Alexander was an undeniable military genius, but he was also a man of volcanic rage, notorious alcoholic like all icons, with a monumental chip on his shoulder. He took everything, absolutely everything personally. Here are 4 moments where Alexander's personal fury changed the course of history. The Vengeance of Thebes, 335 BCE. As soon as Alexander took up the throne, rebellions emerged in those lands that his father had conquered. While dealing with matters in the north, a Greek city by the name of Thebes decided to take its chances. Philip was gone, and now there was only an inexperienced young king. This was the moment for liberation. The Thebans began sending desperate pleas to the rest of the cities of Greece for a unified front. When Alexander got the news, he executed a forced march back to Greece that covered an incredible distance in just 13 days. It was early September 335 BCE when the Thebans looked over their walls and saw the impossible. Alexander with his entire citizens would be safe. The Thebans, confident in their defenses and their alliance with Athens, declined his offer and responded disrespectfully. This decision influenced their outcome. Alexander initiated a complete siege. When a Macedonian unit discovered an unguarded entry point, a conflict ensued with significant repercussions. Clashes erupted in the streets, leaving the central square in chaos by evening. Following this, Alexander reached out to nearby Greek towns that Thebes had once governed to discuss the city's future. The unanimous agreement was to dismantle it entirely. The Macedonian army literally cleared Thebes block by block. Torches set such blazes that the marble buildings would crack. The great walls, standing for above 1,500 years, were pulled down stone by stone. Every single survivor was taken captive. Athens and all other Greek cities, besides Thebes, looked upon the smoking-leveled ruins of what had once been a very great city, and were instantly cured of any desire for independence. Alexander could now proceed with his father's mission, that of conquering Persia. The killing of Cleitus the Black, 328 BCE. At the Battle of Granicus, 334 BCE, Alexander met with the gravest danger. While he was fighting, his sword stuck in the armor of his antagonist. Simultaneously, a Persian commander who attacked from behind assailed him. In that very critical moment, Cleitus the Black, an old general, intervened and saved Alexander from death. Cleitus soon made a name as one of Alexander's most steady commanders, loyal but not shy with advice. The role of court sycophant belonged to others, not Cleitus. He was ever ready to be forthright with the king. It would be years later, in 328 BCE, and only after great victories that saw Alexander adopting Persian ways, taking up their dress in court mores. This set on edge his Macedonian veterans, among whom stood Cleitus. The new ways made him profoundly uneasy. At a feast in Maracanda, the king began bragging, comparing his achievements to the mythical Hercules and claiming he had already surpassed his own father, Philip. The yes-men cheered wildly. Cleitus, however, stewed. The last straw came when Alexander tried to pacify Cleitus by offering him the satrapy of some remote province. Cleitus saw it as nothing less than an ignominious expulsion and exploded. Drunk, proud and angry now, he screamed, "Speak these words to me as the son of Zeus. Every victory was won with Macedonian blood, but look at you, you dress like a Persian." He brought up King Philip. The father was far more man than the son. In a moment of intense emotion, Alexander took a spear from a guard, leading to a tragic incident involving his friend Cleitus, who had once saved his life. Cleitus did not survive. The aftermath was impactful. Alexander felt deep regret and acknowledged the seriousness of the situation. He expressed his sorrow and reflected on the unfortunate outcome. For 3 days he withdrew to his tent, unable to eat or drink. Despite his genuine remorse, the consequences of his actions had a lasting effect on his reputation. The Landbridge to Tyre, 332 BCE. By 332 BCE, Alexander could not be stopped. He met one immovable block on his way to Egypt, however: Tyre. Tyre was a well-built island stronghold, sitting half a mile off the coast of what is now Lebanon. Guarded by 150-foot walls and the Mediterranean Sea, it had never been taken in any siege during its whole 1,000-year history. Alexander asked to make an offering at the Temple of Melkart, the Phoenician parallel to his boyhood idol, Hercules. The Syrians nicely told him to keep out. Feeling slighted by this refusal, Alexander chose that Tyre must learn a lesson. He would not just sail to the island, he would indeed alter the geography so as to get there. He instructed his team to construct a large bridge, using stone and sand across the sea. Observers from the city watched from their walls, initially intrigued but later concerned as the construction continued. They attempted to impede the work through various means, but he persevered. When a storm caused some damage to the bridge, it was repaired and reinforced. After 8 months of dedicated effort, the bridge, spanning half a mile, was completed. Tension heightened as the rams breached the city walls, allowing his forces to enter. They swiftly gained control of the city, leading to considerable challenges. In response, he ordered that several individuals be taken to the beach. The Landbridge, constructed by Alexander, driven by his ambitions, still exists today, linking the island to the mainland and altering the Lebanese coastline. The death of Betis at Gaza, 332 BCE. During his expedition to Egypt, Alexander encountered a significant challenge: the fortified city of Gaza, led by a determined Persian governor named Betis, who was committed to safeguarding this key location. Betis firmly rejected Alexander's request for surrender. Viewing this resistance as a personal challenge, Alexander ordered his troops to build a large earthen ramp to reach Gaza's imposing walls. This effort took several months, during which the defenders worked to protect their position by launching projectiles from above. As the ramp reached the walls, Alexander, despite a shoulder injury, took the lead. The skilled soldiers of Betis fought valiantly, refusing to surrender. After the city was taken, Betis was brought before Alexander. The king, used to receiving accolades, noted Betis's quiet resilience and determination. Alexander admired Achilles, the hero from the Iliad, and always kept a copy of the epic close by. He recalled the moment when Achilles confidently confronted Hector. Achilles, enraged, killed Hector and dragged his dead body behind his chariot. Alexander directed his men to secure bronze rings to Betis's ankles, linking them to his chariot. He then got into the chariot and started to drive. As he moved around the city walls, he felt a sense of fulfillment, reminiscent of a legendary figure. However, he overlooked a crucial aspect. The hero only confronted his rival after the rival had passed away. By the end of Alexander's display, Betis had stopped opposing him.